Hi there guys and welcome to another Train Sim 2017 video. Today's a relatively short one, just with the Class 20s from Just Train Advanced really. I realised I hadn't done a video with them properly. So this is just one of the default scenarios that comes with the Just Train Class 20 Advanced pack. And it is called JT20 Flask Diversion. And I've got a pole in my way there. Let's move out of the way of that. This is on the London to Brighton route. And it's drive a pair of Class 20s on a diverted nuclear flask working from Norwood Junction down to Three Bridges. So let's get going. Hello driver, please depart once you have the road and head for Three Bridges. You may encounter adverse signals along the way. That sounds good. I like a bit of adverse signals. So the Just Trains Class 20. It was one of the first. I don't know if I have to set my AWS up on this. One of the first advanced trains that they did, I think. Don't count me on that, but I think it is. It's quite nice. I quite enjoy driving it. It's a lot better than the DTG one. An awful lot better than the DTG one, really. I haven't driven it much at all. Not for a long while, really. One thing I will say about it is that the cab is the same with the older ones and the newer ones. It doesn't make a massive amount of difference. And to be honest with you, I'm not too sure what the refurbed cab's like. I'm sure it is slightly different than the green ones. But like, it's nice with the little flask there and the hot plate. Oh, can you turn the hot plate? Oh no, it's the handbrake. That would be a bit dodgy, wouldn't it? Is the windows open? No. Oh, what's the big red specky button for? Oh, it's the Deadman's DSD holdover. Would be my guess. Right. You can see why it's nicknamed the Chopper, can't you? Hear why it's nicknamed Chopper. Does sound pretty cool. I think DRS did a really good job with the Class 20s. One of them even ended up in Kosovo years and years ago, in DRS blue at that. Fair gradient as well here, nice. Use this downhill gradient before we go up again, I think. Get a bit of speed up. So the Class 20s, I think, were part of the dieselisation plan, weren't they? I think these were first, I think 1957. I think they were built for about 10 years. I think it probably went to about 1967, 68, I think. And it was 228 built. It's gone green. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a single yellow, but I'm making sure I've slowed down enough anyway. It's a red. So that's what you get for not... Oh no, is that a red? What's that to the left of it? Yeah, that's not my line. That's confusing. Sorry, I'll put my binos away. Put them back in my bag down there, look. That's just gone double yellow. Perfect timing. Yes, I've just double checked here. It is 1957 to 1968. So I wasn't too far off there at all. In fact, I think I was dead on. 75 mile an hour top speed. That's a 20 limit there. So the DRS 20s, or 20/3s, it says here, has at times seen frequent work across Britain in pairs or with Class 37s on nuclear flask trains, the company's specialty. So DRS is actually owned by British Nuclear, well, it was British Nuclear Fuels, I don't know what it is now. DRS supply 20s for use on the railhead treatment trains. I don't think they do anymore. I think all their 20s are not being used at the moment. And this is the one I was talking about. Perhaps the most unusual train hauled by a Class 20 was the Kosovo Train for Life charter train in autumn 1999, which carried 800 tonnes of aid, leaving London Kensington Olympia Station on the 17th of November 1999. The train was hauled by 2901, 2902 and 2903 throughout, reaching Prague by September the 20th and arrived at Pristina Station at 10 AM on the 25th of September 1999. So it says hauled throughout. I'm guessing it wasn't hauled through the Channel Tunnel by the 20s, but you know what I mean. So DRS initially had a fleet of 15 operational Class 20/3s. 3 of these were subsequently disposed of scrap after stripping for spares, whilst a further 2 have been sold to H&RC, which is Harry Needle Railroad Company. In 2005, H&RC acquired a larger number of 20-0s and 29s from DRS stored fleet. By May 2008, H&RC had 16 Class 20s in storage and 8 operational, of which 2 are on hire at Chorus and Scunthorpe. So they've got a really cool livery. If you get a chance, look them up. A number of Class 20s from H&RC are currently being employed to deliver S-stock. So yes, these are the GBRF, I think, have hired them, haven't they? One's a GBRF livery, and even the Heritage London Transport livery one. Just like that whistling noise, really. Yes, the Chorus one's in like a yellow. Here's all yellow, and there's like a grey door bit and stuff there. Quite cool. I'm accelerating here, but this next signal could be a single yellow. Just listen to the whistle again. Now we're clear. The only time I've actually really been up close to a 20 was on the North Norfolk Railway. I used to stay at a campsite quite a lot when I was a kid, called Kelling Heath, and that has a little station in it, like a little request stop, and there's a signal box not far up. We used to spend quite a few holidays poking about in there. I think at that time that was in Rail Freight Red Stripe, which I think quite suited the 20s as well. Always quite like the fact that a lot of coal trains were hauled by double-headed Class 20s. Also there's something else that's just popped up on the bottom of this page that's reminded me of something else. I'm a massive Bond fan. Anybody that knows me will know I quite like a good Bond film, and one of my favourites is GoldenEye, just because it was the sort of Bond film that came out when it was the first Bond film that came out when I really got into Bond in the 90s, and it did have Natalie in it, which was well worth a look. But the GoldenEye train was filmed on the Nene Valley with a scene with a tank and everything, and that was a really heavily modified Class 20. I think that one is actually, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's in the Manchester Museum. Is it the Manchester Museum of Science and Industry? It is pretty cool. I've never actually seen it there, but I suppose considering we're hauling some nuclear stuff, we better talk about it. So in the United Kingdom, railway carried flasks are usually they're usually used to transport spent fuel from nuclear power stations in the UK. Up in Sellafield, you've got the spent nuclear fuel reprocessing facility. So these flasks are more than 50 tonnes to transport no more than 2.5 tonnes of nuclear spent fuel. So if you look at that thing, for the weight of these, it's only 2.5 tonnes per box. Now I'm sure you've all seen the footage of the, is it class 45, I think it was a Peak, being slammed into one of these as a test to show that they were safe. So they're pretty robust things, put it that way. There's a couple of different types as well. There's the FNAs which we've got here, but there's also the other ones which are carry the, I think it's to do with the nuclear submarines out Barrow way. So it was actually a class 46, it says it further down here, and it hit it 100 miles an hour. Additionally, the flask would heat to temperatures of 8,000 degrees centigrade to prove safety in a fire. So here's something I didn't know. See, doing these videos I learn just as much as you do sometimes. So problems have been found where flasks sweat. When a small amount of radioactive material absorbed into paint migrates to the surface, causing contamination risks. Studies identified that 10 to 15% of flasks in the United Kingdom were suffering from this problem, and none exceeded the international recommended safety limits. Similar flasks in mainland Europe were found to marginally exceed the contamination limits during testing, and additional monitoring procedures were put into place in order to reduce the risk. Current UK flasks are fitted with a lockable cover to ensure any surface contamination remains within the container, and all containers are tested before shipping, with those exceeding the safety level being cleaned until they're within the limit. No occlusion again in this tunnel. Report in 2001 identified potential risks and actions to be taken to ensure safety. Geez, you know, I never knew that. That's cool. So FNA wagons themselves have been involved in a number of accidents, derailments, they have happened, but also there was one dropped. I'm pretty sure the limit for these is 60, but I'd have to look that up to know, but I'm going to stick to 60 just to be as good as I can. But there's the talk of here of the Baltimore train tunnel fire. Now Baltimore is a city I would highly recommend you go and visit if you ever go to the States. It is awesome. Go down to Fells Point, some great bars. You can eat Martha's mussels. There's some brilliant bits. Now Bertha's mussels, I think, is actually very cool. Lots of little bars, great city. But anyway, on the 18th of July 2001, a freight train carrying hazardous non-nuclear materials derailed and caught fire while passing through the Howard Street Railroad Tunnel in downtown Baltimore, Maryland, United States. The fire burned for 3 days with temperatures as high as 1,000 degrees C. Since the casks are designed for a 30-minute fire at 800 degrees C, several reports have been made regarding the inability of the casks to survive a fire similar to the Baltimore one. However, nuclear waste would never be transported together with hazardous, flammable or explosive materials on the same train or track. And I'm way over speeding. God. This is actually a little bit freaky. So the state of Nevada released a report entitled Implications of the Baltimore Rail Tunnel Fire for Full-Scale Testing of Shipping Casks on February 25th, 2003. The report, they said, hypothetical spent nuclear fuel accident based in the Baltimore fire concluded steel lead steel cask would have failed after 6.3 hours, right? Monolithic steel cask, which I'm not sure what that is, would have failed after 11 to 12.5 hours. The contaminated area would have been 32 square miles. Latent cancer fatalities 4,000 to 28,000 over 50 years. Cleanup cost 13.7 billion. That was in 2001. Whoa. National Academy of Sciences, at the request of the state of Nevada, produced a report that included the following should be done. Need to 3D model bolt seals, etc. More than high star casts for extreme fire environments. Just says what it should do. Loads of waffle, really. That's pretty crazy, though, isn't it? It's a lot. 32 square miles. And if you have ever been to Baltimore or from Baltimore, you'll know how packed a city it is. But even if that was to happen, like, say, here, pretty scary. So I think we also get spent fuel from mainland Europe as well, or we did. So I don't know who actually made them. I know Rolls-Royce make weird stuff like this. I don't know if they made the containers or if they could have even done the wagons as well. So there was Magnox flasks. Consists of 4 layers of internal skip containing the waste. Protectors surrounding the skip all contain 370mm thick steel. I don't know if this is what was before or after. Oh, Magnox is a type of reactor, that's what it is. It's pretty weird, isn't it? Sound thingy going on there. Quite nicely modelled though. Not to be sheeted, no unauthorised person must trespass on this vehicle. It's kind of asking to be trespassed on really, isn't it? Apart from that big radioactive sign. So that test they did where they smashed into the wagons from the old Dalby test track, bless it. So I know that these used to require escorts. I don't know if they do now, and I think the submarine ones still require escorts. DRS used to use a couple of Mark II coaches for that task. Before that, there was quite often a brake van. There's always 2 locomotives for a nuclear fast train, just in case one breaks down. So it won't be left stranded, basically. I know sometimes they're escorted by armed soldiers. I know that some were just escorted by British nuclear fuels people. Still looking pretty red to me. That looks like I'm actually going to have to stop. Where am I? Come on, come on, come on. No. Let's have a little look outside, I suppose, while we're here waiting. So there's like quite a cool clasping system out. It's all held on and stuff like that. So these are craned on, so this middle bit actually comes out. That's what they keep it all in. Well, that should have given us the green. Not yet, wait till these hit the next signal. There it goes. I don't usually do a horn from pulling off. Just quite like listening to them. We've heard it from inside the cab, we haven't heard it from outside yet. To be fair, I'm no Class 20 expert, so that horn I'm sure is half decent. So look at the gauges and stuff in here. So have a little look around. External AWS sound mute. So I mean, for an advanced, like, I mean, it's not as advanced as the newer stuff, I suppose, but it does the job, and it's got a better hood view or bonnet end view than the DTG Class 20, and all the buttons and the controls work on this side as well, and it's giving me all the gauges are correct, which is quite nice. Oh, what's that? See, I have a generic manual for the 20, but I don't have it's like a specific Class 20 one, so I have one that covers 20 up to 37 or whatever. Oh, on manual front, good news is I think I have a 313 manual on its way, which I'm looking forward to getting. That's got everything: driver static duties, driving instructions, and fault finding. I think we're due to be relieved at 3 bridges, if I remember rightly. Yes, we are. So we've got some thrash while we get there. Just to let you know, this route still has the vegetation track upgrade from trainworks.eu in it. I'm still not sure whether I like it. I like the track, I'm not sure about the trees. Some routes it really suits it, and the others are just I'm not 100%. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, please. All right, love. So guys, once again, thanks ever so much for watching. Please do feel free to like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to check out the Facebook page. It's really a relatively busy place at the minute, and it is the best place to keep on top of it, but also for general railway chat and simulator stuff. It's all really there. It's covered. Some really knowledgeable people on there, some cool content creators, so it's worth heading over and having a look. So once again guys, this has been the Class 20 by Just Trains, and thanks ever so much for watching. Catch you next time.